Now, more than 50 families whose homes were either collapsed or on the verge of collapsing in Umlazi have now been relocated. Heavy and contentious rainfall led to severe soil erosion and sinkholes, causing widespread structural damage. The affected families have been moved to temporary emergency accommodation in Amanzimtoti on the south coast. Nobuhle Modise joins us live from there. Nobuhle, now, some of those families have been relocated. How's that process currently going? Are we seeing more of them being sent to some of those temporary shelters?
Indeed, Katleho, you'd remember when we spoke earlier, I did speak to Ndabezinhle Sbiya, who is the spokesperson for the Transport and Human Settlements Department, and he mentioned that there are also other people coming from eThekwini that will be housed here. And when I spoke to you earlier, I did promise you a peek inside the building where I am right now. As you can see, I'm in the pathway, and there's still some work being done to ensure that the place is suitable for families to come and live here. I understand that at the moment there isn't any water in this particular building, and I see officials from the municipality are here to address that. No timeline as to when that will be sorted out, but for now the families that are here are just quite pleased, because this is quite different from the reality in Umlazi H section. I mean, I just spoke to a lady who we spoke to when we visited Umlazi, Nonkululeko Kambule, and she's one of the people who made sure that officials in the province are made aware of the situation in that area. And I remember when we spoke to her, spoke to the fact that when her house collapsed, she had to move in to a neighbor's home, which is also on the brink of collapse. And there ended up being, a number of people living in that house because others had also lost their homes. She mentioned the fact that in some homes there were about 20 people in one house, and they would even have to take turns sleeping because they had to keep watch in case the house collapsed overnight. So when I spoke to her, quite happy when I asked her what her first night was like here in this particular building, and saying that she slept like a baby, and a lot of them quite happy, with the way things are going, quite excited, and also, telling me how they've been divided. So Nonkululeko, because they're a family of 4, she has her own unit, and there are some families where they would have to share. But I also want to bring into the conversation someone who I've also spoken to when we visited Umlazi H section, Ubab Ayandambata, who's also a person who's lived there his entire life and was able to give us a history of the area. He has now also moved into here. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yes, and I want to find out from him. Firstly, how was your first night here? How do you feel about being moved?
Yeah, we're quite happy about move sizela from last kamga khona umuntu lale ubuthongo umuntu la engacabangi khona ukuthi ngathi ngilele kuwe indlu noma ngathi ngilele uzwe kubhidliya kamakhelwane. So we're quite happy ukuba la, and nangama developments from day one si reporter ukuthi sinenkinga. So far nje basala basebenzisana nathi basibambe ngengalo nje, si happy nangekwezindlu environment esikuyona iyenza nokuthi ukhohlwe ukuthi uqhamuka and ubone ngisho ismile kwabanye bethu, because ismile nje bese kuyinto ongakwazi ukuyibona, because into esiyibone ngamehlo ethu sihlezi siyibona ku TV at all times ukuthi endaweni ukuthi sekwenzekeni thina siyibone ngamehlo. And manje indlela esingakhona even umqondo wethu, i-mindset yethu yabo, siyaqala nokukhohlwa manje ukuthi siqhamukaphi, bekwenzakaleni ngokwesimo esisibonayo nangendlela esisizakala ngakhona. Bavele nje basukumela phezulu basiza, akuthathanga isikhathi njengoba sila njengamanje. Kusaqhutshekwa futhi ukuthi kumuve abanye abantu bezela basazoqhamuka edrobheni, abanye ade beye khona basazomuva balethwe la nabo, sizohlala sonke la. So nje sijabule, we happy kakhulu.
Nama ngisho ukuthi ngiyaqala ukubona usmile. Mhlambe sichazele ukuthi sebanitshelile ukuthi lizoba la how long, what the process is from here on. Sebanichazelile lawo ma details noma into esezoyenzeka.
Ngicabanga ukuthi okunye nokunye basazosichazela, but okwamanje nje sachazele ukuthi sizoba la till the further notice ukuthi makusuka la kuyapi as belokhu befika nabo bahlezi bela bezos-update ngama-developments enza. We quite happy about that ukuthi bangafiki bashiye bahambe bahlezi bela bayas-update usuku nosuku njengoba babona nawe basakhona la, so bas-update but abakasitsheli i-time frame ukuthi sizoba la from la kuze kushaye isiphi isikhathi.
Ngiyabonga kakhulu. Ayanda Mbata, who is someone who lived in Umlazi H section and he has now moved here, and you've heard him say that he had a great night's rest and that he's able to smile now after a long time. And as you can just see behind me, Katleho, there is a lot of work being done here. I did mention that there are a bit of issues. There are still some issues with regards to water. There is electricity, but everyone that's here at the moment is quite pleased, saying this is much better from where they come from. I mean, you heard Obabumbata, they also echoed the same statements. And I just want to show you inside these units and what it looks like. So there are, ablution facilities. There's a bathroom, there's a kitchen, there's 2 bedrooms in this unit where I am. It seems as if it's 3, I'm not sure, or the other one is being used as a makeshift bedroom. But this is what they look like, and everybody is quite pleased. And it was important for us to come in here and show you these places, because you'd remember, Katleho, after the April 2022 flooding, a year later when we visited families who were in these temporary residential units, a lot of them were not pleased, especially the ones that were moved into halls, for example, just speaking about the terrible living conditions there and having no privacy. And it took a while for them to even, be moved to more suitable places. So we've come here to follow up to see as well if, like the issues that are here right now with water, will those be addressed, or when the cameras switch off, these people will be left alone to their own devices. So it's very important to ensure that these people do get the help that they need. But these are the residential units that they're currently staying at. And we know that in Umlazi at the moment, at around 12 p.m., there is going to be the switching off of electricity in those places or those homes where they're on the brink of collapse or have collapsed. And this is to ensure that there's no reoccupation, because a lot of the times when people get evacuated or moved from certain areas, new people move into those areas. So there is something that's going to be happening at around 12 p.m. where they will be switching off the electricity in Umlazi H section.